Before the arrival of railways, and later roads, much of the transport of goods around Britain was done by canal. Bude Canal was built to transport agricultural commodities such as lime-rich sand and even guano from Peru to the inland farms of the surrounding area. After 40 years of development, construction of the canal finally got underway in 1819, and after 6 years and £120,000, the canal was completed. By connecting with the River Tamar, the Bude Canal was the final link in a waterway which stretched from the Bristol Channel in the north to the English Channel in the south.
Unfortunately, the canal never made any money. Increased running costs and competition from the newly arrived railway meant that business fell into a slow decline. In 1998, however, a canal partnership began looking at the feasibility of the canal's restoration. As interest in the proposed restoration grew, so did the funding. And thanks to grants from the Heritage Lottery Fund, the South West Regional Development Agency, Objective 1 funding and North Cornwall District Council, the canal is now looking at a £3.8 million facelift.
With me is Andrea, the Community Programme Manager for this project.
Peter's going really well, the regeneration of the canal. We've got an overspill car park completed. We've got a tow underpass being put in up at the A39 Heel Bridge, and that's quite exciting for us because previously you'd have to walk the 2 miles of the canal and then over the A39, which is quite a busy road. So now you'll be able to walk underneath it quite safely, and that'll take you to the site of the first inclined plane, which is why the canal, one of the reasons why this canal ranks third in the country for national historic importance, which is quite exciting. The Tourist Information Centre is going to be changing. We're extending it out. We're going to have 4 new offices upstairs and hopefully state-of-the-art interpretation centre downstairs, which will tie in with the tourist information. So you'll be able to come in, learn a little bit about the canal, pick up information about where to go in town, and then we'll signpost you to other great venues such as the castle and the great beaches we have here. Without the funding, the project wouldn't happen. This has been on the cards for, 20 years, almost 15 years. They've been trying to repair the canal, and funders saw the value, have pumped it in, but instead of it just going on what we call the technical side of it, the dredging, the restoring the lock gates, which is a big part of this, it's also coming back to the communities. For example, in the overspill car park, we've now got a fence around it, which previously wasn't part of it, but because we have some special orchids, we have bee orchids in that field, the community told us what they wanted, what their concerns were, so we were able to put in this extra fence. And there have been a number of examples of that, of things people have wanted, and we wouldn't have known if the funders hadn't supported us in finding out and working with the community. So I think there's great benefit, really, and puts Bude back on the map, we hope, which can't be a bad thing, and lots more. You'll have to get involved and find out.
It's not just people who are going to benefit from the regeneration either. Both the canal and its associated wetlands are going to be turned into a haven for some of our best loved wildlife.
The canal and marshland combined will be a fantastic habitat for many animal species, including one of our most charismatic mammals, the otter. Otters are elusive and shy animals, but their playful nature endears them to us, despite the fact that most people will never have seen one in the wild. Global populations of the Eurasian otter suffered serious declines in the second half of the 20th century due to the actions of man. Toxic pollutants such as DDT and PCBs entering freshwater systems played a major role, as did habitat destruction and hunting. Whilst recent years have seen Eurasian otter numbers beginning to rise once again, the World Conservation Union still classes them as near threatened, meaning our otters need a strong conservation effort to ensure their future. In Cornwall and Devon, we are lucky to have the largest populations of otters in England, making our otters globally important.
And it's with this in mind that we're here today. As part of the regeneration, the Cornwall Otter Group are here building an otter holt.
Holts are secure locations that otters rest in during the day and use as safe places to rear their cubs.
The first stage of the holt construction is to clear the area so that the building materials can be brought in. Despite being top predators, otters aren't without their natural enemies. In the past, dogs were used to hunt them. It's with this in mind that we've built the basic structure of the Holt with 3 entrances or exits. These entrances have to be large enough for an otter to gain easy access, but not a predatory dog. The next stage of the construction is going to be to stake out this rough framework and apply a covering layer of sticks to keep the whole thing secure. Security with our Holt is absolutely key, so the next stage is to add a layer of uninviting brush, which will help disguise the Holt, and by being spiky and uninviting will put off any predators which might come sniffing around. The finishing touches have been applied and the Holt's ready for the judgment of Bude's otters. With a little bit of luck, the regeneration of the Bude Canal and its marshes and the building of this Holt will secure the future for otters in the Bude Valley. Building otter Holts isn't the only event taking place as part of the Regeneration. For a full list of all the events taking place, check out the Regeneration website and explore the events listings. Or you can look at the notice boards which are situated all over the local area.